Welcome. Audible. Free audiobooks and tales. It's automatically dubbed in your language, has subtitles, and the subscription is free. Today, I'll read you a new Audible. Narrated by Amadriadi. Enter the author's magical world. Are you ready? Let's go. Audibles. Title: Becalmed. Author: Nicola Baxter. Fantasy Tales. Narrated by Amadriadi. Mariners moan a lot about bad weather. They have a horror of hurricanes. They have a terror of typhoons. I suppose it's understandable. Storms have a habit of upending the most valiant vessel and sending it to the deep. But there is something that pirates hate even more than rough seas, calm seas. Yes, there is nothing worse in a sailor's eyes than being stuck in the doldrums. One afternoon, a couple of weeks before Christmas, Captain Pugnacious Pete and his crew find themselves becalmed in the middle of a very Pacific Ocean. There is no land in sight. All that can be seen, stretching for mile upon nautical mile, is flat, sunny ocean. There are no waves. There is no wind. The sails are as slack as a pair of drawers on a washing line. "Where are we, bosun?" asked Pete, gazing at the chart, and not at all sure which way up to hold it. 200 miles south of Barnacle Island, 500 miles north of Gurgle Point, and 400 miles east of China, says the bosun, confident that Pete hasn't the faintest idea whether he is right or not. "So what's this?" asked Pete, pointing to a purple patch on the map. It is, in fact, an offering from Poisonous Pedro after a meal of squid. But the bosun doesn't like to say so. "It's called Revolting Reef," he grunts, glaring at Pedro. "Trust me, we don't want to go there." "Are we on course?" asks Pete, suspiciously. "Absolutely," says the bosun, which, since he doesn't have the faintest idea where they are headed, is a miracle in itself. "Then, all we have to do is wait," says Pete, reasonably. "Cabin boy, bring me my banjo." Now, I believe I've mentioned the natural repugnance a sailor feels for windless weather. Even being becalmed, however, is a billion times better than listening to Pugnacious Pete on the banjo. He only knows one tune, which is something to do with someone being balmy. And he plays it over and over and over again, very rapidly. It isn't only the person in the song who is balmy. Every member of the ship's company is crawling on the deck and calling for his mother. 2 hours of the banjo later, the crew decides to take desperate measures. They scoop up the glutinous remnants of yesterday's squid stew and stuff into their ears. It is, of course, silly to stuff anything into your ears ever. But you can understand it in the circumstances. Now, squid stew is not fabulous food, but it does have quite wonderful soundproofing qualities. For the rest of the afternoon, the crew members are blissfully unaware of Pete's playing. They snooze in the sun and wait for the wind to get up. But the wind, far from getting up, is having the longest lie-in of its life. The afternoon passes. The night passes. 2 more long days crawl by. The squid stew smells so bad, it has to be washed out of certain loathsome lugholes. Luckily, the sun has stretched the banjo strings. Although Pugnacious Pete is in fact playing Ul Balmy for the 3049th time, it is no longer recognizable. In any case, even Pete is beginning to tire of it. "There must be something we can do," he says. "Hasn't anyone got a pack of cards?" There is silence. Pete himself ate the cards. Last time rations were running low. "I've had an idea," says Cabin Boy. "If there's no wind out there to fill the sails, why don't we make some wind ourselves?" There is silence. Even the unwholesome crew of Purple Pimple thinks this is a gross idea. The Cabin Boy turns suddenly scarlet. "I didn't mean that," he protests. "I want thinking, of birthdays cakes. You don't often see a band of nautical ne'er-do-wells thinking of birthday cakes they have no and love." The bosun sucks his thumb, and clutches a imaginary teddy bear cake. It's the cook who get the idea. You mean, like blowing out the candles, he says. But will it work? There's only way to find out, replies Pete briskly. Come on. All line up, in front of the mainsail. Are you ready? Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. What are you doing on the sail, Pedro? You pathetic piece of poultry. You're making it twice the weight. Come back here. And start flapping your wings, or something. Now. Are you ready? 1. Pete is surprised to hear several thuds as members of the crew, purple and gasping, literally hit the deck. He has told them to breath in, but not unfortunately, to breath out. Several minutes later, when the oxygen levels are back to normal, a second attempt is made. Ready, steady, blow, yells Pete. Audibles. Title: Becalmed. Author: Nicola Baxter. Fantasy Tales. Narrated by Amadriadi. Mariners moan a lot about bad weather. They have a horror of hurricanes. They have a terror of typhoons. I suppose it's understandable. Storms have a habit of upending the most valiant vessel and sending it to the deep. But there is something that pirates hate even more than rough seas, calm seas. Yes, there is nothing worse in a sailor's eyes than being stuck in the doldrums. One afternoon, a couple of weeks before Christmas, Captain Pugnacious Pete and his crew find themselves becalmed in the middle of a very Pacific Ocean. There is no land in sight. All that can be seen, stretching for mile upon nautical mile, is flat, sunny ocean. There are no waves. There is no wind. The sails are as slack as a pair of drawers on a washing line. Where are we, bosun? Asked Pete, gazing at the chart, and not at all sure which way up to hold it. 200 miles south of Barnacle Island, 500 miles north of Gurgle Point, and 400 miles east of China. Says the bosun, confident that Pete hasn't the faintest idea whether he is right or not. So what's this? Asked Pete, pointing to a purple patch on the map. It is, in fact, an offering from poisonous Pedro after a meal of squid. But the bosun doesn't like to say so. It's called Revolting Reef. He grunts, glaring at Pedro. Trust me, we don't want to go there. Are we on course? Asks Pete, suspiciously. Absolutely, says the bosun, which, since he doesn't have the faintest idea where they are headed, is a miracle in itself. Then, all we have to do is wait. Says Pete, reasonably. Cabin boy, bring me my banjo. Now, I believe I've mentioned the natural repugnance a sailor feels for windless weather. Even being becalmed, however, is a billion times better than listening to Pugnacious Pete on the banjo. He only knows one tune, which is something to do with someone being balmy. And he plays it over and over and over again, very rapidly. It isn't only the person in the song who is balmy. Every member of the ship's company is crawling on the deck and calling for his mother. 2 hours of the banjo later, the crew decides to take desperate measures. They scoop up the glutinous remnants of yesterday's squid stew and stuff into their ears. It is, of course, silly to stuff anything into your ears ever. But you can understand it in the circumstances. Now, squid stew is not fabulous food. But it does have quite wonderful soundproofing qualities. For the rest of the afternoon, the crew members are blissfully unaware of Pete's playing. They snooze in the sun and wait for the wind to get up. But the wind, far from getting up, is having the longest lie-in of its life. The afternoon passes. The night passes. 2 more long days crawl by. The squid stew smells so bad, it has to be washed out of certain loathsome lugholes. Luckily, the sun has stretched the banjo strings. Although Pugnacious Pete is in fact playing Balmy for the 3049th time, it is no longer recognizable. In any case, even Pete is beginning to tire of it. There must be something we can do, he says. Hasn't anyone got a pack of cards? There is silence. Pete himself ate the cards. Last time rations were running low. I've had an idea, says cabin boy. If there's no wind out there to fill the sails, why don't we make some wind ourselves? There is silence. Even the unwholesome crew of Purple Pimple thinks this is a gross idea. The cabin boy turns suddenly scarlet. I didn't mean that, he protests. I want thinking, of birthdays cakes. You don't often see a band of nautical ne'er-do-wells thinking of birthday cakes. They have no and love. The bosun sucks his thumb and clutches a imaginary teddy bear cake. It's the cook who get the idea. You mean, like blowing out the candles, he says. But will it work? There's only way to find out, replies Pete briskly. Come on. All line up in front of the mainsail. Are you ready? Breathe in. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. What are you doing on the sail, Pedro? You pathetic piece of poultry. You're making it twice the weight. Come back here and start flapping your wings or something. Now, are you ready? 1. Pete is surprised to hear several thuds as members of the crew, purple and gasping, literally hit the deck. He has told them to breath in, but not unfortunately, to breath out. Several minutes later, when the oxygen levels are back to normal, a second attempt is made. Ready, steady, blow, yells Pete. None of the crew is familiar with Newton's laws of motion. In any case, their puny puffing makes no difference. The sail hangs limp